everything to know about black myth Wukong. It should be noted that allegations against game science have surfaced over the years via reports of the developer fostering a sexist culture and work environment, with numerous women in the Chinese gaming community highlighting these problems within the studio, as well as backlash following crude and controversial social media posts by game science co-founder Ji Feng. As of this recording, game science has repeatedly refused to comment on the allegations. Although
because the reason why they don't comment on the allegations is because they're only allegations, and the company isn't accountable to GameSpot or IGN or Kotaku or Polygon. They're not accountable to any of these companies. And if you actually went back and you looked at what happened, what ended up happening was that the game itself was, or sorry, the people wrote about it. There was like one person that wrote about it, and then somebody else wrote that other people were writing about it, and now it's that people are writing about it. But the truth is that it was just really one person who was complaining. And I think this is something that a lot of these like game developers need to understand, is that you're not really accountable to a publishing studio or like, sorry, a journalism studio. Like, these people are not your friend. They're not trying to help you. And if they call you out for something, you shouldn't respond to them because you're not accountable to them. Nobody in the gaming community respects them. Nobody cares about what their opinions are. And to the extent that they do care, it's because they're mad because they said something stupid again. So the idea that like Black Myth Wukong or Game Science needs to address this, or they need to, respond to the allegations. Why? Who decided that? Who decided that you get to make something up about someone and then they have to tell you whether it's true or not? Or even, let's assume that it's real. Why do they have to talk to you about anything? Who are you? You're nothing. You're like, really, like, and that's always been my perspective with stuff, is like, you're not accountable to anybody. Somebody's mad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody did.
But has removed some of the offensive wording in its marketing materials that has contributed to the misogynistic culture.
Yeah.
Further details on these allegations can be found at a link in the description.
Yeah, so this is the reason why people are happy that game studios and these, what do you call it? Not game studios, but like these like games publishing places are, they're falling off, basically. And I can show you what the problem here is, right? Because you look at GameSpot, and if you look at their videos, right? I mean, they're trying to effectively do what do you call it? What IGN does, but they're basically doing it worse. And if you look at, we'll open this up, Google Trends. I'm going to explain why they do this and what's happened. GameSpot. So it's a website. We'll look at the website, right? And then we'll look at worldwide. And let's look at since 2004 to present. And so this is the reason why a lot of these game studios are upset, is that their relevance and importance has dropped off, and the decline is so dramatic that when you look at it in an abstract, it can't even be measured anymore because it's just going from fractions of one. These people have completely destroyed their credibility. They've destroyed their careers. And I think they've in fact destroyed the future of their entire industry. And this is what's happened. And it's checked IGN as well. Well, what I'm saying is, like, I can look at any of them. They're going to follow this same trend. It's approaching zero. It is. And if you look at, you look at the past 5 years, right? I want to make sure you guys understand this, is that even inside of the past 5 years, it still is going down. And so in order to measure their decline in an accurate way, you have to actually go down into the past 5 years, because the 2004 to present, the decline is so extreme that it's not measurable unless you zoom in on it. There's so many games news sites. I don't know anybody else news this. The only reason I go to find them is the best method for getting past a spot in a game I'm stuck at. Really? Because I just go to YouTube. That's the way I see it. Sounds like OTK has a chance to capitalize on that market with accurate reviews and open honesty. Well, here's really what the problem is. The problem is that games reviewing is simply not something that, and I could talk about this a lot. I don't really want to get into it too much, but we could go into it later on after I finish the video. But either way, you can see this decline, it's not even measurable unless you zoom in. And these companies have effectively destroyed their entire credibility, and everything that they stand for has been completely trivialized. They've actually destroyed their own industry. And it's observably true by every metric that we can see. And I can give you another piece of advice. Let me see if I can find it here. Not advice, sorry, a piece of argumentation. If you go to GameSpot.com, let's just go, we'll go on private window. Are you sure you want to lead YouTube? No, but I'll do it anyway. So if you look at this, let me see if they have ads on this. Oh no, we don't have ads on this. Let me go ahead and open it up on Google Chrome, because I don't have the stuff on there. And so with a lot of these, so you have one ad, you have the privacy policy, 2 ads, and then, okay, that's not an ad, that's good. 3 ads, and then 4 ads, 5 ads. So there's 5 ads on one page. So these people are desperately clinging on to staying relevant. They're doing everything that they possibly can to stay alive, because they are in the death throes of their industry. 6? Oh, I might not have seen it. Oops. Journalism is at a big falling off because they seek audiences? Yeah, exactly. You'll see another world where people in our age are in charge? Yeah. Anyway, I'll look at the rest of it and see if they talk about it anymore.
While Black Myth Wukong seemingly shares a lot of DNA with Souls-like games, game science itself does not consider it a Souls-like. In spite of that, the game features many staples of the action RPG subgenre, such as bonfire-like checkpoints that respawn enemies in the area around you, a flask for healing that has a finite number of charges and refills when you rest at a checkpoint, and upgrade points that are dropped and have to be recovered after death. Wukong's primary tool for walloping enemies is his staff, but you'll unlock additional stances over the course of Black Myth that give you different combos and movesets.
Yeah, the game looks really good.
However, you have a limited number of moves and abilities.
I would have never guessed.
A light attack and a heavier attack you can link together into combos. Light attacks and dodging build up a focus meter, while heavy attacks consume focus. Dodging also depletes a stamina gauge that recharges quickly when you stop moving. And if you time the dodge perfectly to avoid an incoming strike, time slows a bit and you leave an after image of the destined one where you just were.
That's
Black Myth also adds another wrinkle in the form of spells you can fire off in the midst of battle, such as the ability to briefly immobilize
I can't wait
an
to
enemy
not use
mid-motion,
any of those for the entire playthrough.
Attack. However, spells not only have cooldown timers, but are also controlled by a sort of mana meter that refills like your health flask whenever you rest. Souls-like. Black Myth Wukong is structured fairly linearly, although the game will feature a mix of focused corridors and larger, more open and explorable areas. And after facing off against some of the game's bosses, you'll sometimes be able to claim their weapon, giving you the ability to use it in a fight, transforming Wukong into the enemy you previously defeated.
That's
Transforming into a different character comes with its
that
own
looks
health
fucking
bar,
badass.
separate from the one you're using and healing normally. How long the transformation lasts is dictated either by health or by doing too many cool moves. moves, with your light and heavy attacks depleting a meter called might at different rates. When either meter runs out, you transform
So you
back.
see, like, it's down at the bottom, right? So, like, obviously using the big abilities, taking damage or time, all of these reduce the time, and so playing well keeps you in the combat, or keeps you in the form longer. A lot of games use things like this. This is fine.
Back into Wukong. Bosses
Like,
can also have numerous
Wuthering Waves says
phases,
something like
but
this.
rather than entering a new phase
Kind of.
based on the damage dealt to them, bosses will switch up phases based on how well the player is doing against them. Black Myth Wukong will release on PC and PlayStation 5 on August 20th, 2024
That's so
for
soon.
$60.
It's like 6 days,
the game
man.
is meant to eventually come to Xbox Series X and S.
Yeah.
However, there is no date currently for those platforms, with that version of the game having been announced to be delayed during this year's Summer Game Fest. No reason was given for the Xbox delay,
they
although
don't-
it could potentially have to do with limitations around
That's actually not true. They did give a reason. They said, the developers literally said, nobody gives a fuck about Xbox. It's not a priority.
the Series S console,
Yeah, they actually
an
look it up.
issue
They
that has
said
plagued
that.
other titles such as Baldur's Gate 3. Black Myth Wukong is also a digital-only game. No physical version of the game is available. Pre-ordering the game will give the player an alternate colorway for their health gourd. Beyond the base
Wow.
edition of the game, there are 3 additional iterations that come with additional items. The Digital Deluxe edition of the game that
get a
retails for
sword?
$70 includes a digital soundtrack, as well as additional weapons and gear for Wukong to adorn.
Oh,
the
wow.
deluxe edition of the game that retails for $170 contains everything the Digital Deluxe does,
God
but
damn.
with some physical goodies too. Although the
a lot
steelbook
of shit.
case, as previously mentioned, has
It's
no
pay to win.
disc, just
Yeah,
a code for
it is. You can use this stick and you can break your PC so you can't play the game anymore. That's how you can beat the game. You
the
literally
game.
beat it.
The collector's edition of the game retails for an eye-watering $400, and its centerpiece item is a statue of Wukong. It should
That's
be
cool.
noted that the latter 2 editions of the game with physical items include PC codes only. If you're planning to play on PS5, your only options are the base and digital deluxe editions. And that is everything you need to know about Black Myth Wukong. For more on the game, including our eventual review and guide videos, stick right here on GameSpot.
Yep, there it is. And so this is basically, I think a lot of people have been like very fatigued by hearing these like game studios, because like other than this, like the rest of the review was pretty good, right? It was pretty much just an explanation of the game. It's exactly what I'd want to see. Bad video, yeah, but everybody hates them. And so it turns out that gaming media with more than 5 million fans would go to such lengths to make such accusations without any evidence. Well, it's not about whether the evidence is real or not. It's about whether people care. Like, I don't care what they do at their studio. What does that have to do with me? Like, I don't work there. I don't have anything to do with that. I don't want to hear about like your opinion on what the studio might have done is. Like, it's not relevant. We just want to play the game. Like, it's the same thing with Blizzard too. It's the same with any of these. Read the comments. Yeah, we just want a game. Exactly. It's not relevant to me. Why would I care about that? Give me a second. I'll look and see what other people are saying. The original Chinese interview said there's no need to rely on female players to attract male players who hope to socialize with them and flirt. I don't see how that can be sexist. GameSpot's a piece of shit. Why don't you post a video of Sweet Baby Inc. Extorting millions of dollars from Game Science? Oh, yeah, that was like another thing. Professional competence in this game is disappointingly low. Your remarks only demonstrate your low information processing ability, but also demonstrate your basic respect and understanding for the game. Well, here's the thing. You have to keep in mind, right? This will stop when people... Well, I think this is going to stop no matter what. This is my opinion. I think that if you had access to GameSpot's balance sheets, you would know that they are in a death spiral, and this company will probably not exist in 5 years. And I think that's probably true with Kotaku, Polygon, and a lot of other ones, except for maybe IGN. Maybe IGN. Maybe one more year. Yeah, exactly, right? And so a lot of these people are going to get replaced by AI. And to be honest, and this is the real reason why nobody cares, it's because every single studio, like, let me see if I can pull this up. So all of these different places have made articles about the sexism accusations, right? They've all done this, whether it's IGN or Games Industry or The Gamer, Reset Era, that's a forum, but I'm sure there's other ones too that I just, they're probably not popping up here. And so what ends up happening is that these game studios and these journalism places, they behave like they're the same thing. So like we don't really have any diversity of opinion. Like there's none of these people that are looking at this. Like I bet if you look at any of these instances, whether it's this one here, none of them shine a light on to whether this is like a good idea or a bad idea, or whether it matters or not, or whether anybody cares. So this is the problem. It's that these people, and this is the issue that journalists have with the games industry, is they make things up or they fixate on things that players don't care about, and then they appoint themselves as the arbiters of morality, and now they act like the games companies have to win their approval. Well, the truth is that the industry is not the same as it was in 2004, for example. And what's happened since then is that a game publisher doesn't need to rely on any middleman to deliver a product to an audience. Like, all you need to do is have a YouTube channel and make a really good trailer, and people are going to watch and play your game. Whether that's something like Among Us, or Overwatch, or Lethal Company, or Terraria, or Valheim. It doesn't matter. Any of the games, it doesn't matter how big or how small they are. Every game, if it's a great game, has a chance to succeed. And these games industry people are, I think, very upset about this, because they were the gatekeepers. They were the ones that could say, no, you can't get past us because you don't have our brand of politics. You don't view things the same way that we view things. You don't have the same values that we do. But now that doesn't matter anymore, because those people are redundant. There's no reason to care about that at all. Now we have a lot of different shows that display multiple indie games, etc. Yeah. It's going to be hilarious. What will actually kill the diversity journalism is lack of diverse opinions. Well, that's basically what the problem is that the amount of people that actually care about this is minuscule. Nobody actually really cares about this except for a handful of retards. And so if you make content and every other group makes the content that's like that, this is what I'm a very skeptical person. Like, when I hear something or I see something, I automatically think to myself, I wonder if this is true or not. So when I see every single games website that's talking about this, I think to myself, there's collusion. I think to myself, there isn't actually multiple opinions here. It's actually just the same people that are having conversations trying to push an agenda. And it makes me not trust them at all. A few tards are more powerful than one. Yeah, exactly. Are they just autistic people who are hyper-fixated on the wrong stuff? No, I think that, so what you have to understand that this is a power dynamic that journalists create. So the way the power dynamic works is that a journalist puts their perspective higher than the perspective of the average audience. And a journalist is supposed to be a thought leader, somebody who is supposed to influence the opinions of other people. So because of that, a journalist can position their opinion as being more important than an average person's. And so what they do is they create the need for making sure that their opinion is up there by having these platforms. And then they make the companies have to appeal or capitulate to what those demands are. So, for example, if the game doesn't have an accessibility feature that these journalists think are important, then they write about how the game doesn't care about disabled people and wants people without arms to die, or some variation of that. So it's all really about power, because the way that the journalists maintain the power is by using that power to effectively slander or defame the companies, and then make the companies behave in a certain way to empower the journalists. But the reason why it's not working anymore is because the journalists are no longer the gatekeepers. So if you look at it from like a chart, I'll explain it here, right? So you have three different people, right? So you have the publisher, you have the journalists, and then you have the customer, right? And so in the past, the publisher would have to go through the journalist to get to the customer. And then the customer would then hear what the journalist says and make a decision based off of that. Now, this has changed because now the publisher can go directly to the customer, and more importantly, the customer can go directly to the publisher, because now there's no need for the journalist to exist really at all. What are you doing? Why do you exist? Why are you there? What is your purpose? And the truth is that they don't have one. And so that, and how can you define that they don't have a purpose? Well, you look at the chart that I pulled up earlier. Their decline is measurable quantitatively, and it's a 99% decline. They are in their death throes. That's not true. Really? What about this? I'll see if there's anything important. What about this isn't true? Maybe in gaming, yeah. Can you explain? I'll give you a minute. But anyway, so this is what's happened. And so whenever you have companies like GameSpot that, you know, highlight something that's totally irrelevant to players, and also here's another big issue. Another really big issue is that a lot of these different like accusations of like sexism or racism or some form of politically inappropriate, like socially inappropriate behavior, these have been massively exaggerated for years. And like, you know, for example, like, oh, it's sexist, like, you know, Stellar Blade is hurting women, stuff like that. You read something like that and it's just like, this is insane. Like, no normal person thinks this, right? So it damages the credibility, because I think that people do care to some degree about sexism or something like that, but not really. 07 for me, don't pull me up. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. Journalists shouldn't have opinions. They should only provide factual information so the reader can make up their own mind. Well, here's what's funny about journalism. So I wanna, this is a bit of a self-report that I think a lot of gaming journalists have. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not. Have you guys seen how many gaming journalists are being worried about how AI will take their jobs? You've seen many gaming journalists saying and complaining about this, right? Right. So what else are they also saying about AI? Well, they're also saying that AI can't create anything new. All it can do is regurgitate what's already existed. So under that logic, if an AI can take your job as a journalist, that means that you're not adding anything new, are you? And you're actually just regurgitating the same exact garbage that was out there already with a slightly different spin to it, and you're mad that somebody can have a robot do the exact same fucking thing. You're way overthinking it? No, it's not overthinking. If anything, it's underthinking. Yeah, that's what it is. They just scrape it off of Reddit. Yes, it's a self-report. They're not doing anything. So, definitely overthinking. Yeah, sure. And so this is what's happened. And I think that this is true with all gaming journalism. And I think also, like, there's another issue where a lot of people, I think it's a cultural change, and it's been happening for a while, is that we've spent probably the better part of 10 years recently being told what to think and what to care about. And I think that people are very fatigued of being told what to do. Like, they're being told what to care about, what to do. Like, oh, well, you need to care about this. This needs to matter to you. And the truth is that, no, it doesn't. Walking on eggshells 24/7? Yeah, I don't want to walk on eggshells around somebody like this. So I think that that game science here is making the right decision, and I hope that more companies make the right decision as well, by just simply, these game companies, these news companies, you are not accountable to them. They don't control you. The only thing that matters is your relationship with your audience. And if you go and you let them control where you're going to develop the game, you're going to make a bad game. Because these people do not represent the public. And if they did, they wouldn't have lost 99% of their market share in 10 years. You don't lose 99% of the market share that you used to have by echoing the sentiments of customers and the public. It just doesn't happen. So, yeah, they're only accountable to gamers. Exactly. Yeah, you're not accountable to any of these games publishers or any of these, I keep saying the wrong word, any of these journalists. No Man's Sky Reddit hoax proves your point. Yeah, exactly. Influencers do the same thing, though. They do. Yeah, absolutely they do. Yeah, for sure. And they're not accountable to me either. That's true. And that's a good thing. Like, it's bad that somebody... At a point where a person puts themselves up as a gatekeeper, and then they exercise that in an unhealthy way, that's bad no matter who's doing it. It's bad if it's a journalism person or a company. It's bad if it's an influencer. It's bad if it's anybody. Unless it's like a regulation thing that's like specific, right? This video is quite literally why everybody hates games journalists. Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. And I hope these people realize that. Yeah, they are destroying their careers. I don't think it's bad if they report on sexism in the industry, but it's not something everybody needs to know. No, it's not important. And I think that it actually is bad because the accusations that they made were completely unfounded. They were total bullshit. And they were basically, this is what journalists do, is that one of them writes an article that's unsubstantiated and unfounded, and then a second one writes an article about an article being written, and then a third one writes an article about articles being written, and then they basically speak the thing into reality by creating a false, like, noise around it. That's what they do. And so you just can't take them seriously at all. They're instigating, right? Yeah, the story gets blurred. And things that were originally like an accusation or an interpretation from somebody, I went through all these accusations and they were all bullshit. So yeah, I'm really glad, and it's not a surprise that it's a Chinese studio, but it's going to be great when more Western studios realize that these people are purely parasites and they exist only to make your relationship with your customer harder to attain. And as soon as they realize that and stop treating them like, in my opinion, I don't think that these people should be denied review copies, because I think that denying somebody a review copy is access journalism, and I think that's bad. But if I was a game developer, I wouldn't give these people any favors or do anything for them specially. And if I was going to give people, like, access to things, I would primarily give it to other people that were more honest. It's my art, dude. Yeah, why'd you make this? I don't know what the fuck this is. Black Myth Wukong's benchmark tool, which isn't even a game, has more players than Concord. Oh, fuck. Concord isn't out? Yeah, but the benchmark tool isn't out either. Well, that's amazing. It was the beta. What about Suicide Squad? There we go. Man. That sucks. Like, can you imagine working at that? That's sad, bro. Like, wow. 153. Oh my fucking god. Everybody wants to see if they can run Wukong? How do you download the benchmarker tool? Because maybe I should do it myself. Yeah, I'm not sure how it works. Is it on Steam? Okay, let me see if I can do it myself. Give me a minute. I love China. Well, I mean, I will too if this game comes out and it's good. Yeah, and so it had a total of 85,000 people playing just a benchmark. That is nuts. Holy fucking shit, man. I guess I'm not really that surprised. Check deadlock. Oh, yeah. I need to go through that. Oh, bro, I forgot all about that. Remind me about deadlock after this, okay? No, this isn't it. I don't know. But, yeah, I'll figure it out. Either way. For a benchmark, it's quite big. Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know why. I have no idea. But we'll go ahead and we'll try it out. We'll see what happens. How many people are dumb enough to think it's the real game, though? Well, I have no idea. Deadlock's great. I haven't played it. I didn't even really know what it was. Concord isn't out and it wasn't playable. Also, it was a paid beta. Dumb comparison. Do you want to admit that you're stupid and wrong, or do we have to prove it to you? Basically, the game was available with an open beta that you didn't have to buy. And so you're right that there was a closed beta, but there was also an open beta after that that allowed anybody to try the game out, regardless of whether they purchased the game or not. So do you see how that's not true, what you were saying? Yes, I was unaware. Well, put yourself in my position. What would you do if you were in a situation where a person was spamming in your chat that you were wrong, arguing with you over and over and over, even whenever they're wrong? What would you do if you were me? Part of my statement is wrong? Well, the entire statement was wrong, actually. So, Concord was actually playable in a case where Black Myth Wukong wasn't playable. So, if anything, it would have made Black Myth Wukong at a disadvantage because you were able to play one game and you weren't able to play the other one. So, also, Black Myth Wukong isn't out either. Neither of the games are out. So, part of your statement wasn't wrong. The entire statement was wrong. Every single thing that you said was wrong. Like, you said 3 different things. That it's not out, that it's not playable, and that it was a paid beta. Black Myth Wukong wasn't out. Black Myth Wukong wasn't playable, and Concord actually was playable. And it wasn't a paid beta. So you're at 0 for 3. You were wrong about literally every single thing that you said. So, you think that I need to give you a second chance, even though that you spammed constantly? That I was wrong about something that you were completely inaccurate about? I got it, and that way I'm completely wrong? Well, maybe we'll have to do ban appeals. I don't want to have people spamming in my chat constantly. Look at this guy. Ban that guy. Hey, what goes around comes around. That's the way it goes. Bro, just let him learn. He might be 18, so if he's just 18, double your age soon now, man. You're the old wise man from Lord of the Rings. You see, you say this, you're not getting banned. You're not going to get banned, obviously. I'm just going to pull this up. Put the gun away. I can explain them. Delete your own account. Bro, just let him learn. What if I told you I just did? I don't think people learn a lot when they're able to just be absolved of every mistake that they make. Like, you don't really learn a whole lot when you get called out for something and then nothing happens. This is the learning moment. He did learn. Not only did he learn that he was wrong, but he also learned that actions have consequences. They do. I can't ban the internet. Yeah, he just did. He asked to be educated, and he did. He got educated. Seems like they just want to get pulled up. They don't believe that you can read as fast as you do because they can't. Oh, I don't know. Deadlock Verge drama? Yeah. So earlier today, someone was complaining to Pirate Software that your mods weren't responding to them unbanning. Did he ban him? I really hope he banned him. All right, let's try it out. So we got the new Black Myth Wukong benchmark. And compatibility, I don't really know. Just press play. Windows 5. Oh, this is the Chinese rootkit. Verified my account just to say that you're gay-shaped, weak, smart man. Good for you, man. I hope you feel better. Okay, yeah, this frame rate is on. And... oh no, I can't scroll down. See? Same with this. Oh, this is. Okay, everything is on cinematic quality. Alrighty, guys. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Do it twice? Yeah, I'll do it twice. Are you sure you want to run the benchmark? Yes. Oh, here we go. Ooh. 100. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, man. This with everything on cinema quality, by the way. Oh, man. That's crazy. Wow. Wowee. Amazing. It'd be 40 frames. Maybe. Look at that. Even the characters hardly even lower it at all. Look at that. Holy fucking shit. Jesus. It was fine. Yeah, it looks just like the trailers. Yeah, I know. This looks really nice. It's crazy to think that, like, in 5 years, pretty much every game is going to look like this, if not better. Is that nuts? Go to 100%? I will. I'll change it a couple of times so you guys can see it. Starforge X Wukong collab win. We've actually got a really great collaboration coming up pretty soon here in like a week or so. I'm like super excited to show people. I can't leak anything, but it's something I've been very excited for a while. Look at that, dude. That looks so fucking clean, man. Holy shit, that's good. Jesus. It's not with this game. I can leak. It's not with this game. Oh, it's just something else. Jesus. And this is 120? Oh, man. Oh, man. How about that? How about that? Jesus. Man. You know, actually, like, I gotta remind you guys of something. So, a couple of weeks ago, I actually opened a PC. Let me make sure my cord's long enough. I opened a PC on stream. And this was to show, like, this is one of the PCs that we're selling, and it was a limited edition, and we're all sold out of these PCs. However, I'm not keeping this PC myself. I am going to be giving this one away. We'll probably do that in the next week or so. And so probably I'll post it on Twitter, or maybe Starforge will post it on their Twitter, and we're going to give away the PC to one of the viewers. So somebody's going to get this for free. So yeah, and this has got, by the way, this PC does that. It does that right there. Hell yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so I wanted to show you guys that's also pretty heavy. And does it come with the free roaches? Yeah, it's been here for a week or so, so it probably will. So yeah, there we go. And let me see, we're going to exit this. And I'll try it now with the 100% resolution, okay, guys? Do an illegal lottery? Oh, that's a good idea. That's smart. Yeah, everybody has to be subscribed. Settings. Okay, and super resolution to 100. Okay, let's see what happens. You guys ready? Damn, still over 60. Holy shit. Wow. Fuck. This is still better than console? Yeah, what's the console FPS right now? It's like 12 FPS on console, right? That's like the new industry standard. Is it 12? 10? Oh, yeah. That makes sense. 24 for that cinematic look. Oh, good one. Jesus. I'm gonna be honest, I do really think this looks a little bit better. Audio seems to be stuttering a bit here and there. It doesn't seem that way for me, so it could just be... Look at the water. The water looks so nice. Now disable frame gen? I will. Because I bet, like, here, frame generation is, like, carrying so hard. That looks so good, though. Oh, my God. I bet it's probably going to be, like, 40. Yeah, I think it'll be, like, 40 FPS with no frame generation. Is this 4K? No. It's 1440. This does look a little bit better. I think it does. I don't know if I'm going to play it with this resolution or not. Or, like, the super resolution. Because, like, if I do that, it's 84 here. Like, wow. The problem is, like, the Twitch... What do you call it? Yeah, it's about the same, so 60 to 90%, okay. And then we'll do it without frame generation. Yeah, it's the bitrate. Sorry, I was like a little bit confused. Yeah, the bitrate just looks like garbage. Like, I'm gonna try to, like, now that they have, like, my channel that's getting ads, like, a silver lining to that is that... Next one? Yeah, okay. A silver lining to that is that I should now be able to get higher frame rates. Or higher bit rates. Yeah, I get more bit rate. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? I bet this is gonna be laggy as fuck. Yep, just about what I thought. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I can see it a little fucky here. Looks worse. I think it does. I'm gonna be honest. I think frame generation is great. I like this more, to be honest. I don't. I think frame generation looks way better. Cinema FPS. Yeah, remember, hey guys, even now, we are still ahead of most console games. Even now. It's choppy? Yeah, it's not great. It's the console experience, not all of them. No, some console games are like very forward-thinking. So they're going not forward-thinking from now, but they're forward-thinking to 2010, where the standard is 60 FPS. I'm actually surprised it's over 40 at all. Yeah, this is actually better than I had expected. This part does look really good. That's good. Yeah, I think so too. Also, you're looking at 1440. We're only seeing 1080. Yeah, you're right. There's a small quality improvement visually for you guys, but it's like 5%, 3%, something like that, you know? They should put some combat scenes in the benchmark. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is with 100 hyper resolution, 1440p, and also no frame generation at all. Still pretty fucking good, I would say. Yeah, that's really good. I'm happy. Excuse me. Okay, exit. And let me get out of here. Also full ray tracing. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, and ray tracing with cinematic quality for everything. But yeah, there it is. 63,000 people have just downloaded the benchmark tool, which is fucking crazy.